there's actually some super awesome stuff. I think it's going to be a very very exciting summer. Um, it's going to be a very different summer. That's the one hint that I will leave. I know what our players like to do is they like to look back at the calendar and say, "This is what always happens, and this is when I expect things." And
Yes,
um,
Jeff.
there's
Oh,
going to be there's going to be some mix up in
yeah.
this summer
Go
when
on.
things land.
Hmm?
So if expectations are like, oh, this is the day when the tweet's supposed to go out telling us about, summer games, for example, um, those dates are all going to be different.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa. And remember, guys, if you love the video, then do subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you get alerted to when all of the videos go live. Okay, all right. Where's the teasers? Where's the hero? Where's the new stuff? Where's the event? Well, like I just showed you guys at the start of this video, Jeff did say, this was a few months ago when I spoke to him, that summer will be completely different. So that means we can't look at the calendar and go, oh yes, well, we should have had a hero teaser last week, because we should have. And desperately, we should get a hero teaser, sort of last chance saloon, next week. But if Jeff is saying just forget about it, if when you expect a tweet to go live, hey, it might not. When you expect an event to go live, oh, it might not. Jeff is basically saying to us there, completely forget about the launch schedule of Overwatch. And this got me thinking, right? It's like, right, where is all this stuff? Maybe we're about to move into Overwatch content pipeline version 2. Now, what do I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, Lord, it's a big word and it makes me sound fancy. Well, what I'm saying is Overwatch maybe doesn't have enough of a launch schedule to keep up with current modern gaming demands, right? I believe, and I fully believe this, Overwatch does make enough content. Even though you're probably sitting there going, Sty, what the hell are you talking about? We need loads of content. Well, hang on a second. I've looked around at my community. I've looked at the comments. I always read the comments on YouTube. Loads of comments on YouTube. I look at, so these are coming from you guys, the subscribers to this channel. You guys that follow me on Twitter, even on Instagram as well, and in the Discord server, which is discord.gg/unitlost. I look at what you guys are talking about, right? Then I do a little bit extra kind of, poking around the community. I look on Reddit. I look on the official forums. God forbid the official forums is not a great place to go, but whatever. I look around and I try and get the community sentiment. And I think to myself, is that right? Is that wrong? Why does the community think like that? Well, the community thinks right now we do not have enough content for this game. It is not coming out quick enough. It's not coming out often enough. But actually, we kind of do. It's just the way they launch it is very weird. We generally get a large content drop every couple of months when it's an event. So every 3 months, 3-4 months, boom, here's an event. I know it's not for 4 months, obviously, guys, because, sometimes events come quicker. When you look at the end of the year, you get Winter Wonderland, and we just sort of go straight into Lunar New Year. And then before you know it, we start popping into other events. So events do come around kind of quick. Problem is, they've all been the same content, basically, apart from the Retribution event from the year before and this year's Storm Rising event. The Archives events, they change, but they're the only one. The rest of the other events basically stay the same. There isn't enough of a meaningful update for players to be like, holy hell, I actually need to go and play Lucioball for the 4th time because they've just actually give us a new arena. Actually, it's still the same as the old arena. It's just a different, wrap outside. Yeah, wah. That's not enough, is it, right? But also, in those updates, we get a load of skins, a load of voices, a load of emotes. Well, maybe not a load of emotes, but we sometimes get emotes, sometimes get victory stances, sometimes get, poses. Sometimes we get, we always get loads of sprays. Maybe we get a highlight intro. So there's actually a ton of content. And if you look at this logically and go, right, okay, where's Sty going with this for a start? But just remember, guys, you just stay with me. It'll be beautiful. So let's just say every event you get 7 legendary skins. Let's just round this up to an easy number and say 10 skins an event. I know it isn't always 10 skins, and sometimes, 7 is like a more random, but because I'm an idiot, I'm just going to say 10. So imagine if you got 10 skins, then you got all the other associated items. Well, what would happen if you launched the skin every week? For that 2-month, 2.5-month, 3-month period in between events, you've always got a new bit of content there to show off. Instead of saving it all up and dumping it out an event, which keeps people's interest. Now, this is based on what I've seen in the community, and it's based on my own experience, guys. When I log into an event, because you guys, you've seen me make these videos for years now, but what I'll do is I'm like, okay, the client's updating, I'm going to jump into the game, and I'll look at the skins, and I'll look at the game mode, and then I'm out. And I'm in the game for like what, 20 minutes if that, and really I've seen the event because it's the same as before. I don't really have much interest in playing through the same type of stuff, which all you guys are the same. And so then I just like, what, I just go back to competitive maybe, then I moan a bit because we don't have any kind of role queue or anything. I'm like, then I sort of stop playing, right? And that's not great. But if they staggered the release of their content, it'd make you come back to the game more often. Now, obviously, there are fundamental issues with the game, which we think are about to be fixed. This is stuff like 222 and the role queue, because this has been heavily leaked by a load of Overwatch League players, where we think this is coming out the start of Stage 4, which means the end of this month. But then when we go back to Jeff, and Jeff saying, look, throw away the calendar, launch is going to be completely different. Like, what could that mean? Well, I think this could be the start of this content pipeline version 2 sort of approach to Overwatch. Maybe it's the start of brand new Overwatch events. It's the start of new sort of ways of launching heroes. You know, what if this new hero, whoever it turns out to be, comes out with an event? Like, the event is for the hero. That would be cool as hell to me, and it would be awesome for lore because you could really introduce the hero. You know, it could be great. What I'm worried about is we just get Summer Games again, and then it literally is the 4th year of Lucioball and a couple of summer-inspired skins, and we're like, oh yeah, great, you know, and a couple of voice lines, a couple of other bits and bobs, but really, that's not going to cut it. And I hope they realize that. I think they realized that year 2 of the Summer Games. It's like, what are you doing, Blizzard? But then this goes back to the whole thing of me saying a bit earlier on in the video, actually they do make a lot of content. When you look recently at what's come out to the game, it's actually a lot, right? So let's just go from, let's kind of say Storm Rising. So if we look at, just before Storm Rising, we got the Atlantic and the Pacific Mercy and Lucio skins. They were awesome. They were great. We also recently got the Jonak skin as well, which is the MVP skin for Overwatch League 2018. Then we get Batiste. This is not in order, by the way, guys. I'm just sort of spurting out what we've got over the last couple of months. So we got Batiste. We got Lore with Malga in, which was the Alyssa Wong story, which is literally some of the best lore Overwatch has ever got. That came out. That was awesome. Bit of backstory for Batiste. Introduced new characters. Possible Hero 31 teaser in there. We got the Storm Rising PvE mission, which wasn't great, let's be honest. Did give us the Havana map, though. It's okay. But I think a lot of you guys will agree. We don't really care about maps. We're just like, what? Like, we're pretty much indifferent to maps right now, unless they're heavily broken, like Paris. And then you're just like, why, Blizzard? But yeah, generally, it's like, just give us heroes, give us other stuff, game modes, etc., etc. We don't just want maps. Anyway, so we got that. Then we also get a couple of big things here. We get Replay Viewer, which I think is awesome. We get Professional Replay Viewer, which again I think is awesome. We get the Workshop. Now, these 3 updates to the game are actually incredibly huge, right? They're really big updates. Workshop allows user-generated content for the first time, really, in Overwatch of that level of complexity. But the weird thing that's been happening is there is a community backlash against this, where people are like, fix the game, Blizzard. Why are you giving us stuff like another distraction? Or giving people the tools to fix the game in like weird game modes? And it's like, just fix competitive. That is a big, big argument I'm seeing everywhere, and I can understand where it's coming from. The Professional Replay Viewer, we've been in a very stale meta at the professional level for a very long time now, over a year, and it's not great to watch, right? So how can creators make content showing off what's going on? Well, they can, but it's not very flashy, and it's not very, dare I say it, watchable for a lot of the community, because we don't really care about Zarya timing a bubble perfectly, or about like this little brig bash going on, or this little nuanced bit of movement. Like, a lot of players don't care about that. They want to see somebody on like an off-meta hero play really well, or funky, interesting comps, things like the Clockwork Vendetta comp, and things like that. But you just don't see enough of that, right? Admittedly, right now, the meta is starting to slowly change. And maybe if 222 becomes a thing, we will then see more use of that particular tool. And then this just ties into replays as well. The replay tool, awesome tool, but you can't share your replays, which I think is a bit of a major oversight for the launch of the tool. And maybe it's a little bit too late in the life cycle of Overwatch as we know it, because if that came out earlier, I think it would have enabled a lot of awesome content to have been made. I was kind of a bit sad with replays because I was expecting loads of people to be hyped for it. I was super hyped for it. And I made videos where I'm explaining how to use the replay system, how to use replays to get better at the game. And really, those videos didn't do very well. And I was like, wow, I thought this would do better. So this kind of says to me that, well, the community don't really care too much about replays because, well, why watch your own game back when you could just jump into another game? And again, it's kind of like a bare bones system where you can't like do fancy sort of I mean, you can do a lot of fancy stuff. You can slow the game down. You can spin around with cameras. You can jump on board with like a lot of different heroes. But yeah, you know, maybe if it was more of like a cinematic tool for generating cinematics in a way, making your own machinima, might have resonated a bit better. But the fact is, guys, right, Overwatch, it's going to be interesting, this is. I think next week we have to hear something. There has to be some sort of noise, right? But what we would typically expect is it would be new hero teaser info or event teaser info. But from what Jeff said, don't expect that. So what could we get? Like, could we just get a load of lore that comes out next week, or another way of building up to an event? Do we get a new event? I hope we do. Do we get an event tied into a hero launch? I really hope we do. I think that'd be really cool, because that'd bring people back for the event and for the hero. It's like a double whammy. New hero, new event. That'd be awesome. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments below, because I think this is going to be super interesting to read these comments. Like I said, I really like reading the Overwatch, like trying to gauge the sentiment of the Overwatch community, and it's really funky to do this. And I just think that, yeah, this could be a really killer month for Overwatch if Blizzard get it right. If they do what I think a lot of us want them to do, that is namely new event, hero launches, and then we just sort of go forward there into this new Overwatch delivery of content. And I'd like to see stuff like constant skin launches, you know, stuff like that, instead of batching it all together and dropping it in one big update. I think that would be super cool. And of course, I would like to see 222, just because I think having a framework to play the game in means that actually the game becomes more stable, and then you don't lose the match because you ain't got a tank, which happens all the time. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa, so this is Unit Lost. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, remember you can subscribe to the video, click the bell as well, because that will alert you to when all the videos go live. Leave a lovely comment, and follow me on Twitter, which is @Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely, lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.